Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 2024 Diamond Youth Baseball World Series. It's Game 2 today in our 3-game presentation that we're bringing you. We've got the winner's bracket matchup between the state champions from Georgia and the state champion from South Carolina. I'm Chuck Zach. We're coming to you live from Bossier City, Louisiana. It's the Tinsley Sports Complex, where not only are the Ozone teams playing, but also AAA and majors are in this same complex playing today. We lived through an elimination game already this morning where Texas beat Tennessee on field 9. Here on field 10, it was Virginia eliminating Arkansas. So 2 teams are done. The rest are still moving on, including these 2. One will stay in the winner's bracket. The other will slide into the loser's bracket and play tomorrow morning at 11:15 against either North Carolina or Mississippi. Let's give you the lineup for Georgia, the visiting team here. We will start off with Chris Brown in center field. Bryce Shepard, the left fielder, is going to bat second. Colt Montgomery at third base is hitting third. Cannon Mollett is the pitcher. He's going to bat in the 4 spot. Sutton Lewis, the catcher, hitting 5th. Tyler Howell in right field's batting 6th. It'll be Gus Reagan in right field. In first base, batting 7th. Bryson Sutton is batting 8th. Second baseman Jasper Dean hitting 9th. Cohen McCoy batting 10th. And shortstop Bentley Williams will bat in the number 11 spot. Brown steps in, and here's the first pitch. This is a swing and a miss. Here's the defense for South Carolina. Dalton Edwards is over at first base. At second is Jackson Howard. Easton Shealy is the shortstop. Kyler Brunson is at third base. Charlie Staggs is in left field. Ethan DeRoja is in center. McKinley Wade in right. Ben Wright is behind the plate. And Jake Thompson is on the mound with a count of no balls and 2 strikes to leadoff man Chris Brown. Pitch misses low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. State champion from South Carolina hails from Greer, where they were perfect in their state tournament. That one misses wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Georgia champs come out of Dublin, Lawrence County. There's the pitch, 2-2. That one's low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Brown working himself to a full count. There's the 3-2 pitch. And that one's low, ball 4. So Chris Brown gets a leadoff walk to begin the game. Georgia is coached by Kyle Shepard. And Bryce Shepard's coming to the plate. The assistant coaches, Brian Mallette and Tim Howell. For South Carolina, their head coach Jeff Howard, Chad Staggs, Dan DeRoja are the assistants. Georgia got here by virtue of beating Tennessee yesterday. This one poked into left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit as Bryce Shepard gets to first base. Chris Brown advances to second. South Carolina was a winner over Texas in the opening game. Of course, they both played a pool play game before. Georgia lost to Bama in that one. South Carolina was a winner over the host city from Bossier. It's 95 degrees here at Bossier City. As in steps Colt Montgomery. 2 on, nobody out. Georgia starting to roll here early. First pitch a little bit wide from starting pitcher for South Carolina, Jake Thompson. We have enough heat that we're going to do a hydration break after every 2 innings, kind of like we did the last 2 days here. We'll get to the end of 2 and 4, and if needed 6, and the game hasn't been decided, we'll take a 5-minute water break in between each one of those innings. This one hit in the air to left field. Charlie Staggs settling under it in foul territory. He's going to make the catch. Tagging up and advancing are both Brown and Shepard to second and third, and there's 1 away. So Montgomery caught that ball in foul territory, and that's the first out of the inning. Cannon Mollett coming up now. Mollett be playing third base today. Bats from the left side. South Carolina very concerned about Bryce Shepard. I think they were actually appealing down at second base to make sure that Brown hadn't left early is what they were doing. The umpire said no, he did not. All right, so here's Connor Millette. Jake Thompson's first pitch. In there for strike one. Got a little breeze blowing out to left today. This field gave up one home run yesterday from a young man in right field, McKinley Wade for South Carolina. That pitch, breaking ball, fell a little bit short. 1 ball, 1 strike. Our umpiring crew today, Derek Johnson's behind home plate. Mark Davis is umpiring at first, Clay Broussard at third. Here's a pitch, that one low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to the number 4 hitter. Cannon Millette. This one, big chopper towards second base. Ball bobbled, and everybody's going to be safe. Run comes in to score as Chris Brown runs in from third for the first run of the game. Millette reaches on the error by the second baseman. So runners are at the corners with 1 away. And there's catcher Sutton Lewis coming up. So it's been a walk, a single, a foul out, and an error. And Georgia's got to run across here in the inning. This one hit the other way. That's going to make it a 2-0 ball game. Sutton Lewis, first pitch he sees, singles into left field. As Bryce Shepard comes in to score. And Georgia so far jumping all over Jake Thompson. 2 hits in the inning already, and here's right fielder Tyler Howell coming up. Runners at first and second for Georgia. Thompson pitched yesterday in South Carolina's win over Texas. Came in as the 3rd pitcher of the day. Bunt foul, left field side or third base side. Milo Straninger started that game and was very impressive. Ethan DeRosia came in and worked to almost the end, and then Thompson came in and finished it off. He's been nicked up a little bit here. Runner at second base. Cannon Millette. Here's the pitch. Bunt put down, that's foul. And we'll go back and do that again. Actually, they've got Montgomery running at second. He came in for Millette, who's going to be pitching. So they brought in the last out before him. So Montgomery's the runner now at second base. Sutton Lewis is at first base. Swing and a miss. Pitch that was up in the zone, looked like. And that'll do it for Tyler Howell as he strikes out. Second out of the inning now for Georgia. First strikeout for Jake Thompson. And now here's Gus Reagan. Reagan playing at first today. It's 2-0 lead for Georgia. Here's the pitch to him. This one, excuse me, swings. It rolls foul, first base line. And he'll come back with strike one. Bryson Sutton's on deck. He's talking to one of the Georgia dads between games, and already the big rains are coming in that direction, apparently. Latest tropical storm coming out of the Gulf. He said a scary thing. He said they're predicting more rain than 20-odd inches they had back in, I think, 1994, he said. So we're thinking about you guys. This one hard hit into the gap. That's trouble. Left center. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. They're going to try to wave around the second one. We'll have a throw at the plate. Not in time. 4-0 Georgia on the double by Gus Reagan. Montgomery scored from second. Lewis all the way from first. And Georgia has jumped on South Carolina pitching, and we're going to get South Carolina's head coach, Jeff Howard, out to talk to his pitcher and I think maybe make a pitching change. We'll see. It's 21 pitches so far that Jake Thompson has thrown, but at the moment he hasn't fooled anybody. He's given up a walk, a single, an error by a second baseman, another single, and now a double. And that was obviously the best hit ball so far, as Gus Reagan just turned on that and drove it to the gap in left center. Thompson's going to stay out there. We've got 2 outs in the inning. Bryson Sutton, the number 8 hitter in the Georgia lineup, coming up. South Carolina's going to be playing come from behind today. Here's the pitch. That went down low, and Ben Wright does a nice job blocking that and keeping Reagan from moving to third base. It's the second game we've done in a row. Virginia jumped out to a 4-0 lead on Arkansas last game in the first inning. Ground ball toward the right side. That's going to get in there. They'll wave around the runner coming in from second. He's going to score to make it a 5-0 lead as Reagan gets under the tag of Wright. And there's an RBI for Bryson Sutton. And here's Jasper Dean now, the second baseman, number 9 hitter. And Georgia opened up the World Series yesterday with a win over Tennessee. And they're right back on the horse here in day 2. This one fouled back to the screen. For strike 1, Cohen McCoy, the number 10 hitter, waits on deck. So if we were doing a high school game, we would say that Georgia batted around. All 9 batters coming to the plate. Of course, we've got 10 and 11 here in O-zone. This one popped up in the infield. It's going to be the first baseman, Dalton Edwards, who will call for it, and that's how the inning's going to come to an end. But Georgia picks up 5 runs in the inning, courtesy of 4 hits. They leave 1 man on base. There was 1 error. We're halfway through the first inning, 5-0. Georgia with the lead. Will come back for the bottom of the inning when we return to the 2024 DYB World Series. Welcome back, bottom of the first inning. Let's give you the lineup for the home team from South Carolina. Ben Wright, the catcher, is going to lead off. Ethan DeRosia in center field will bat second. McKinley Wade in right field's batting third. Hitting fourth is Milo Straninger. Jake Thompson, the pitcher, hitting fifth. Kyler Brunson at third's hitting sixth. Easton Sheely, the shortstop, will bat seventh. It'll be second baseman Jackson Howard to bat eighth. First baseman Dalton Edwards hitting ninth. Charlie Staggs in left field's batting 10th, and Miles Grugan will bat 11th. Georgia's defense, Gus Reagan at first, Jasper Dean second, Bentley Williams is at shortstop, Colt Montgomery at third base, Bryce Shepard in left, Chris Brown in center, Tyler Howell in right, Sutton Lewis behind the plate, and Cannon Millette. Great name for a pitcher, now with an 0-2 count. Leadoff man Ben Wright. Millette, the left-hander. And there's strike three. Boy, he's got good stuff. Good start to the game for South Carolina, for Georgia's pitcher, who strikes out the leadoff man to begin things here. Ethan DeRosia now coming up. On deck, McKinley Wade. DeRosia yesterday started a game in center field, came in and pitched a couple innings. He's back to starting deep in center field today for South Carolina. Well, Millette seems dialed in early. Called strike one. Left-hander quickly shakes his head and goes, yep. Paints it right on the outside corner. Wow. 5 straight strikes for Cannon Millette. Here's the pitch. Oh, he tried to get DeRosia fishing for one out of the zone. He laid off of it, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got to applaud Cannon Millette, a quick worker. And again, just off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And misses again, 3-2. He has stayed away from Ethan DeRosia so far. Got him with the first 2. Last 3 have all missed a little bit wide to the left-handed hitter. Swing and a miss. He comes back and strikes him out. And Millette very animated on the mound after the strikeout. And there's 2 away. And here was yesterday's hero for South Carolina, McKinley Wade. Wade with a 3-for-3 afternoon. He had a 2-run homer in the first and a pair of doubles. Drove in 3 runs. The first pitch, a called strike. Good matchup here. Lefty-lefty between a fireballing Cannon Millette and the long ball swinging McKinley Wade. Count a ball and a strike with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Georgia with the 5-0 lead. Here's Millette's pitch. Misses wide. 2 balls and 1 strike. Boy, Millette uses up a lot of energy out there. He's very hyped up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Comes back. Oh, one that rode back in. Almost a little screwball action there as it rode back in. McKinley Wade shaking his head no. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's Millette's pitch. Missing wide, 3-2. All right, Millette regathering himself. 3-2 pitch. Ooh, strike 3 looking, and Cannon Millette strikes out the side to open up the game for Georgia. It's a 1-2-3 inning for South Carolina. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Top of the second coming up when we return to the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, welcome back. We head to the second inning. A little defensive substitutions for South Carolina. Miles Grugan's going to come in and play right field for McKinley Wade, and Milo Straninger checks into the game. He's going to play third base for Kyler Brunson. All right, it'll be the 10, 11, and 1 hitters for Georgia with a 5-0 lead. Cohen McCoy to lead things off, facing Jake Thompson. Back on the hill for a second inning. First pitch, this one's lifted in the air, shallow right center, and the second baseman does a nice job. Jackson Howard getting out to get to that ball and grabs it for the first out of the inning. Had to go into shallow right center field and was looking up at the sun the whole way, but got his legs turned around, and then ultimately got his head turned back around, found that ball, and made that catch for the first out. And here's the number 11 hitter now, Bentley Williams. Williams, the shortstop. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Inside, 2-0. Top of the order, Chris Brown on deck. Georgia batting here in the top of the second. That's a strike. Jake Thompson, kind of unassuming. There's a contrast in styles with the pitchers today. Jake Thompson, not very animated, not very assuming. There's a swing and a miss. Cannon Millette, very, very colorful on the mound. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's Thompson's pitch. This one's popped up and twists out of play. And we'll stay with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Now try it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's Thompson's pitch. Swing and a miss, and they'll throw down to first base to retire Bentley Williams for the second out of the inning. We're back around to the top of the order now for Georgia. Second strikeout for Jake Thompson. There's Chris Brown coming up now. Brown, big fan of Bo Jackson, who he says is his favorite athlete. Well, you want to go to Georgia, University of Georgia, you think he'd say Herschel. But Bo Jackson instead. Pitch inside for a ball. Chris walked in the first inning, scored a run. The pitch to him. This is fouled out of play. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryce Shepard waits on deck for Georgia. There's the 1-1, missing wide, 2-1. You'd think growing up in Georgia, the Atlanta Braves, you'd say, would be your favorite baseball team, but he said the Texas Rangers. Won the World Series. Everybody's a fan all of a sudden. Ground ball towards second. Scooped up by Jackson Howard. Throw in time. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Jake Thompson settles in the second and allows nothing. Bottom of the inning coming up. Still 5-0. Georgia with the lead. We'll be back after the break here on the 2024 DYB World Series. Welcome back. Bottom of the second. We'll remind you at the conclusion of this half inning, we'll take our first hydration break of the day. 5 minutes for everybody to get watered up. All right, so leading off the inning for South Carolina, Milo Straninger in there to face Cannon Millette. First pitch, a little outside for ball 1. That's a fastball in there for a called strike. Straninger was on the mound yesterday, and he was very impressive pitching for South Carolina, but he went over the 41 pitches you can throw, and as a result, he's not available today. 2 balls and 1 strike now. It'll be Straninger, Jake Thompson, and Kyler Brunson. 4, 5, 6 to bat for South Carolina. Swing and a miss. Straninger chasing one out of the zone. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Straninger, a Bryce Harper fan, but Michael Jordan's his favorite athlete, and he tells us he wants to go to Yale. It's outside, 3-2. I can't even spell Yale. Here's a 3-2 swing and a miss. That's 4 strikeouts in a row now for Cannon Millette.
Now batting, number 12.
And there's one out here in the bottom of the second. Millette up to 21 pitches. It's going to be his bugaboo. Is he going to run out of pitches before he can get deep into this? Let's see. Pitch a little wide to Thompson for ball 1. Struck out 3 swinging and 1 looking so far. 1 ball, no strikes. This one's hitting the air to right field. It's a long run, and that's going to drop in all the way to the wall. It's going to roll. And standing up at second base with a 1-out double is Jake Thompson, who gets the first hit of the game for South Carolina. Georgia up 5-0. Thompson took that ball the opposite way and between Chris Brown and Tyler Howell. And now Tyler Brunson to the plate. Well, if nothing else, South Carolina a little confidence they actually can hit the ball that Cannon Millette's throwing. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Georgia with 5 first-inning runs. South Carolina I'm not going to try to cut into that a little bit. No balls and 1 strike. 1-1. Boy, that ball was right where Sutton Lewis asked for it. Just a little bit wide of the plate, though. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's wide, off the glove, and that's going to let Thompson go to third base. So he's 70 feet away. Counts 2 balls and 1 strike. Cannon Millette steps off the mound and tries to gather himself back up again. Fastball grounded toward Millette. He goes down to his rear end to make the throw. He gets the ball and throws from down to the prone position. He retires Brunson, but Thompson comes in to score to make it a 5-1 game. Pretty good athletic play from the mound from Cannon Millette. There's 2 away, RBI for Kyler Brunson. And with the bases empty and 2 out, Easton Sheely comes up. Shortstop for South Carolina. And off the fist, he fouls that into the netting. I like the fact that Millette didn't try to make the hero play and go home. That run was already there. Go and get the out. Try to shorten out this inning. Fastball misses a little bit low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one missing wide, 2-1. Well, that's 30th pitch of the game. Misses again wide, 3-1. Three ball, 1 strike. Number 7 hitter in the lineup for South Carolina, Easton Sheely. Jackson Howard's on deck. There are 2 outs for South Carolina here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That one grounded right back to him again. Bobbles it a little bit, turns and makes the throw, and that retires the side. South Carolina on the board. First run of the game for them. They get 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 5-1 our score after 2. We'll take our hydration break and come right back to live action. Top of the third when we return to the 2024 DYB World Series.
doing, Sam?
Hey, did you see halfway up there swinging passage?
Did we finish our 2 innings before they did? Yeah, they started before us. Are they on hydration break? Yeah, they just started on that hydration. Okay. Am I doing all right? Yeah. I'm nibbling on that. Don't. Just call it off. Don't say where it's at. Just don't make no sign. Just. Whenever I'm calling, they know it's a ball. My strikes, I get strike. Yeah, we just. Ready? Hold on. 1 minute. 1 minute. Hold on.
You may now resume play.
All right, welcome back. We are done with our first hydration break of this one, and so we'll resume play here. Coming to you live from Bossier City, Louisiana. If you're listening in all parts Georgia or South Carolina, we're about a couple miles just to the east of Shreveport, the northwestern corner of Louisiana, just along the Arkansas border to the north, the Texas border to the west. We've been hosting for the last 2 weekends the AAA, the Majors, and the Ozone. Last week was Division II. This week, Division I to finish up the DYB tournament season. Be heading, in fact, back in the East Coast direction next year to the Carolinas.
Number 7, Bryce Shepard.
All right, Georgia getting ready to bat here in the third. Number 2 hitter in the lineup, Bryce Shepard, stepping up. And it looks like South Carolina has made a pitching change. Jackson Howard now on the mound for South Carolina. And Jake Thompson's going to go over to second base. So straight swap between those two positions. Howard becomes the second pitcher for Thompson. He went 2 innings. Gave up 5 runs, 4 hits, and struck out 2. And walked 1. The second pitcher Jackson Howard faces the number 2 hitter in the lineup for Georgia, Bryce Shepard. Shepard last time up, he singled and scored a run. And he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Shepard, a Ronald Acuna Jr. fan, says he wants to play Major League Baseball as he fouls this one out of play. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Bryce says a little shout out back home, Coach Jacob. That's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be Shepard, Montgomery, and Millette to bat in the top of the 3rd inning for Georgia. 5-1 lead for Georgia state champions. Ground ball toward 3rd. Fielded over there. And the throw across in time. Kyler Brunson back into the game at 3rd base. Throws out Shepard for the first out of the inning. Colt Montgomery up now. Montgomery fouled out to left field first time up. Montgomery, a fan of Travis Hunter. And apparently Fernando Tatis of the Padres as well. Pitch outside for ball 1.
Colt Montgomery.
Jackson Howard, second pitcher for South Carolina, and he's behind 2 balls and no strikes to Montgomery. We made note of Montgomery's shoes yesterday. He's rocking the hot pink shoes. Now one in there for a called strike. Unlike the umpires who have the soft pink, he's got the more neon pink shoes. 2 balls and 1 strike. This one foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Montgomery. South Carolina pitching has settled in a little bit now. They've retired the last 5 in a row after giving up 5 runs and 4 hits in the first inning. It's our second game in our triple header on each field today. That one's low, ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Coming up after this one, we'll have Mississippi and North Carolina matching up in another winner's bracket game. This one fouled again. And while we're playing over here, Bossier, the host team, is taking on Louisiana in an elimination game. And Louisiana from Ponchatoula with a 3-0 lead over the host, Bossier. And that's ball 4. So after getting ahead 0-2, Jackson Howard loses Colton Montgomery. And with 1 out in the 3rd, Georgia's got a base runner for Kenan Millette. And first pitch to him, a low throw down to second base, a little bit high, and Montgomery swipes the base to get himself in scoring position, trying to get that run back that South Carolina scored in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, that reached on an error by the second baseman his first time up. Pitch up high, 2-0. Probably have topped up temperature-wise, about 95 degrees. Pitch down low, ball 3. Ben Wright contemplated a throw down to second base. Colton Montgomery is trying to draw a throw someplace. He's looking to get to 3rd base. Taking a really big lead over at 2nd just a second ago. Shealy going in behind him. Pitch coming. Ball 4. Well, wait a minute. Did it? Yes or no? No, called it a strike. Delayed strike call. Looked like for a second he'd pointed down to first, but it was his strike call. So it's 3-1. This one, big hopper. Shealy will grab the ball behind second base. His throw is strong and on the money, and there's 2 away. Montgomery advances to third base, and so with 2 outs, Sutton Lewis with a chance to knock in that run. South Carolina's Coach Howard back out. Bless you. Talking to Jackson Howard.
31, Sutton Lewis.
First time up, Sutton Lewis with a single. Knocked in a run, scored a run. South Carolina trying to hold this score and work their way back in a little at a time. Big momentum swing if they can stop them here and maybe score another one in the bottom of the inning. Ground ball foul. First base side for strike 1. Gotten the benefit of some clouds today that have managed to keep the sun from being just way overbearing. Here's the pitch, high, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Montgomery coming down that line. It's tempting right to try to throw him out. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a strike, and Wright is going to take a shot at it this time. He slides back in safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Sutton Lewis. Almost had a little problem there. Throw back to the pitcher. Backed up well by Dalton Edwards over there to keep that thing from becoming a problem. Now here's the pitch. Ground ball, that's booted by the first baseman. Everybody's safe, and Georgia got their run back. Tough play over there for first base. Trying to range into the hole. I think that's Thompson over there. It is. Jake Thompson's playing at first base now. And just could not get that ball. And even if he had gotten it, he'd have had to turn and beat Sutton Lewis to the bag. So an infield single for Lewis. He's got 2 runs batted in today as Montgomery scores to make it a 6-1 lead. Tyler Howell up now. Howell struck out in the first. That pitch hit him. Howell's going down to first base. So with runners at first and second now, Gus Reagan, who had a 2-run double in the first inning, comes back up to the plate. It's got Sutton Lewis over at, is that Lewis up there now, or they run Shepard? I think they brought him in to run for him. Anyway, runner at second, pitch is high. Here's the throw down to third, and they're going to get the out there as Shepard was coming over trying to go from second to third, and that's how the inning's going to come to an end. Georgia picks up a run, though. They get 1 run courtesy of 1 hit, and there were 2 men left on base. Bottom of the third coming up, 6-1. South Carolina trailing when we return to the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, welcome back. Bottom of the third inning, 6-1, Georgia with the lead. South Carolina facing Cannon Millette here in the third. It'll be Jackson Howard, Dalton Edwards, and Charlie Staggs. 8, 9, 10 hitters for South Carolina. This one fouled out of play. Millette now with 34 pitches. This team's got the 5-run lead. See if at 40 pitches he stays. This one grounded foul again, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Trying to see any defensive changes. I haven't seen any so far. Of course, every player's got a bat, and every player's got to get a couple innings in the field. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, foul to stay alive. The count's still 0-2. 1-2, my bad. 1-2. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And 3 balls and 2 strikes, pitched wide. Dalton Edwards, the on-deck hitter. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Millette's pitch swung on and missed, and Howard goes down to open up the third inning. It's strikeout number 5 now for Cannon Millette. South Carolina's Dalton Edwards comes to the plate. There's 1 pitch left for Cannon Millette before he hits that 40 mark. There's a swing and a miss by Edwards.
Georgia, your pitcher's at 40 pitches.
And no movement from inside the Georgia dugout. Millette stays out there and throws another strike. Dalton Edwards, fan of the Reds. He likes Ellie De La Cruz. Pitch up high. He says he either wants to be a Major League Baseball player or a welder. 1 ball, 2 strikes, swing and a miss. Edwards goes down on strikes. And now there's 2 away. And Charlie Staggs comes up.
My batting number 8, Charlie Staggs.
Charlie says he wants to go to Clemson, where he would like to play professional baseball. Swing and a miss. Maybe not at Clemson. He'll go to Clemson and then go play professional baseball. Pitch outside for, strike 1. Now, did he go around? Umpire says, yeah. Nope, did not. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Staggs the number 10 hitter in the lineup. Here's the pitch. This one swung on. Now it's 1-2. Cannon Millette now at 46 pitches. And the 1-2. This one off the handle and foul. Still 1-2. Favorite athlete, Josh Giddey. Somebody's being judgy in here. That's all I'm saying. One ball, 2 strikes, swing and a miss, and that'll end inning number 3. Second time in this game that Cannon Millette has struck out the side. He's got 7 strikeouts. And we're going to come back for the top of the 4th. Still 6-1 Georgia with the lead. You're watching the 2024 DYB World Series. right, welcome back. We head into the top of the fourth inning. Georgia with a 6-1 lead over South Carolina. Gus Reagan takes a hack at the first pitch. Reagan a 2-run double in the first inning. His favorite guy, Austin Riley, the Atlanta Braves. This one fouled. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Like to attend Georgia Southern and either be a Major League Baseball player or an NFL quarterback. That's options. You got open options there. Here's the 0-2. This one foul behind home plate. Actually, he took a swing, missed the ball. Let's see if the umpire is going to say that was a foul or not. He took a swing at it. It was strike 3. If he didn't foul it, it's a live ball for him to be able to advance to first base. The umpire's looking for a little help on this, and apparently it was just a missed swing. And so you're going to have to get 4 outs, will South Carolina, this inning, as Reagan actually officially struck out but then reached the base on the wild pitch. Now we're going to have a ball that got out of the dugout. All right, so runner at first base in Gus Reagan. Bryce Sutton coming up now. Bryson singled his first time up. Throw over to first, and just beating the throw back over is Gus Reagan. Bryson Sutton says his guys are Shohei Ohtani and DK Metcalf's his favorite athlete. Pitch is up high. I tell you what, they didn't maybe get him out on the strikeout, but they got Gus Reagan out trying to steal second base. So no harm, no foul on the strikeout / wild pitch. Ben Wright made up for maybe not being able to control that third strike by gunning him down as he tried to steal the base. So there is one away now. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Bryson Sutton. This one grounded toward third. Backhand grab, throw across in time, well played. Kyler Brunson over at third for the second out. And with 2 away, Jasper Dean coming up. South Carolina pitchers have settled in after that first inning. They've given up just the 1 run. Problem is they haven't been able to do much with Kenna Millette. Pitch low and away, ball 1. Dean popped out to the first baseman his first time up. Ball 2. Cohen McCoy, next batter for Georgia. Jasper Dean, a Tom Brady fan, is his favorite athlete. He's retired now. I guess he still counts. Somebody said Babe Ruth. If you can say Babe Ruth, he's about the same age as Brady. That's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. 31 pitches now from Jackson Howard, and that one bouncing in for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Howard came in after the second inning, so he's about to finish his second inning worth of work. The 3-1. Ground ball again toward third. Brunson with it. Throw across on the money, and that'll end the inning. Well, they got 1, 2, 3 kind of a weird way, and they only did have to get 3 outs, not 4 after all. No runs, there were no hits, and nobody left on base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Still 6-1 Georgia with the lead. You're listening and watching 2024 DYB World Series action live from Bossier City, Louisiana. All right, welcome back. We start the bottom of the fourth inning, 6-1 Georgia with the lead. New left fielder is Cohen McCoy. Cannon Millette working his fourth inning work. The next pitch will be his 50th, and he's facing Miles Grugan, the last batter in the lineup for South Carolina, and he hits Grugan with the second pitch of the inning. And it's the first time today that South Carolina is going to lead off batter on base. Back to the top of the order now as Ben Wright faces Cannon Millette. Defensive get-together on the mound. Reagan and Montgomery visiting with Millette. Cannon Millette so far in this game has given up 1 run, just 1 hit. He hasn't walked anybody and has hit 1 batter. Along the way, he has struck out 7. Struck out the side in the first, 1 in the second, and the side in the third. Here he's pitching in the fourth. That's a strike to Ben Wright. Ethan DeRosa is on deck for South Carolina. Georgia's made it pretty obvious. They're going to let throw at least to 65 now. He's got 52 pitches. And the count's a ball and a strike. Nobody out, bottom of the fourth. We'll take another hydration break after the end of this half inning. Ball high, 2-1. He started out very hyped, did Cannon Millette. He's kind of settled in a little bit. It's too hot to burn so much energy out there like that, but he was very much emotionally responding to his strike calls early. That one's strike inside corner. And the count's evened up 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Kind of feel like this may be the inning South Carolina's going to make a little hay. Ground ball towards short. Backing up is Williams. They'll get the out at second base for the force out. And reaching base has been right on the fielder's choice.
Now batting Ethan DeRosa.
So there's 1 away. Wright's going to come out of the game, and back in is Grugan now. He's going to run at first base, so Wright can get the catcher's gear back on. Ethan DeRosa up now. DeRosa struck out in the first. Throw over to first. 55 pitches now that starter Cannon Millette's thrown. He's going to work out a couple thrown over to first base. On deck hitter, McKinley Wade. Pitch outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. It's 2-0. Neighboring field, we've got 1 more elimination game going on. Louisiana from Ponchatoula taking on the host from Bossier. That one comes inside, and it hit. They're trying to see if it hit him or not. DeRosa's acting like it didn't hit him. It may have hit the knob of the bat. Let's see. He's saying it hit me on the wrist. And the umpires are going to have this conversation. And they're going to say go to first base. So a second hit batter in this inning now for Cannon Millette. Grugan advances to second. DeRosa's now at first, and here's McKinley Wade. He struck out looking to end the first inning on a pitch he wasn't terribly happy about. Felt maybe outside the strike zone. So new count, new batter. First pitch, strike 1. Wade actually tiptoes up a little closer to home plate, takes a swing at that one, and he's in the hole 0-2 now. A big spot in this game. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. No balls, 2 strikes. got him looking for a second time in the game. Wade, who went 3 for 3 yesterday, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts looking. That game will humble you in a hurry. Milo Straninger up now. Straninger struck out in the 2nd inning. It's now 8 strikeouts for Cannon Millette. First pitch fouled back to the screen. And it's 0-1. 62 pitches. Swing and a miss. Good fastball outside corner. He doesn't look like he's lost hardly anything off his fastball from when we started this game. What, about 3:15. It's about 4:25 now. And he got him on 3 straight heaters to end the inning. 9 strikeouts, Cannon Millette, as he strikes out the 3 and 4 hitters, Wade and Straninger. 2 men stranded on base for South Carolina, no runs, there were no hits. And as I said, 2 men left on base. Hydration break time, number 2, comes with Georgia leading South Carolina 6-1. We'll take a break and come back. The 2024 DYB World Series.
If y'all see one of them guys that work here, tell them to replenish that cooler for us. Okay. We just took the last waters. Thank you. No problem. I did order me a new pair. I was thinking about giving it up after this year. They said, well, hell, you got to call 3 to 5 more years. Now you got a brand new pair of shoes.
Yeah, there you go. They say you go to Walmart and get some.
No. You can't. Man, I lost 2 pair yesterday. I lost my old turf shoes too. The soles started coming off of them. Yeah. We need to be playing on dirt and grass like baseball was meant to be played on. Huh? Well, come call with us. Last year in Ruston, they shot the turf at like 4:30 in the afternoon. It was 138 degrees. Well, I can't move to Georgia and call. I said I can't move from South Louisiana to Georgia to call just because it's cooler over there.
You save on shoes?
Huh? Yeah, but I ain't gonna have all my food, man. I like to eat, cuz. Yeah, I like to eat. I can't move over there. Huh? Oh, I'd have to go see for myself because a lot of people say they seafood and it ain't seafood.
Hey, they're going to try to do a World Series in a couple years, so you'll be able to see.
Cool.
Good deal.
All righty, welcome back. Hydration break number 2 over. Georgia back to the plate with a 6-1 lead. Facing South Carolina. Jackson Howard has been on the mound since the 3rd inning for South Carolina. He's thrown 33 pitches. Of course, this is not an elimination game today. This is just a bracket game, and so as a result, you kind of are, you figure, a little careful with your pitching, knowing you've got a game again tomorrow, and potentially you've got 2 games tomorrow, depending on how things go. Georgia's made the decision. Kenan Millette's their guy, and they used him through 64 pitches now, and we'll see if they decide that he's got 1 more pitch in the arm, or maybe no more pitches as they go to a second hurler. But first we got to worry about the top of the inning, and that is Cohen McCoy to lead things off for Georgia. And we're back underway. And the first pitch comes right in and gets him in the ribs. That is the 2nd hit batter for South Carolina. Pass up on Cohen for a second. He says his favorite athlete's Hank Aaron. Tip of the hat. My grandmother used to live not far from Hank Aaron up in Milwaukee. Just sharing that with you, a little personal information. So with a man on, the number 11 hitter, Bentley Williams, coming up now. Georgia already with a 5-run lead. They've got the leadoff man on here in the top of the 5th. Pitch outside. Ball 1. Looks like Milo Straninger is now playing over at first base for South Carolina. Straninger with a very nice pitching performance yesterday. He went to 65 pitches. He struck out 7. That pitch outside.
South Carolina,
And that's
36 pitches.
ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Bentley Williams talking about wanting to play Major League Baseball. Count now 3-0. And that's ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk to open up the 5th. South Carolina, which does not have much margin of error as it is. Coach Howard getting up, and he's coming out. It's 38 pitches from his pitcher, and they're going to take the baseball. We're going to get a new pitcher. We'll take a timeout. They're going to bring in a new arm. We'll get him warmed up, and we'll get you ready for the continuation of the top of the 5th as Kyler Brunson's about to become South Carolina's 3rd pitcher of the day. Quick timeout. You'll return in just a minute to the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, new pitcher Kyler Brunson finishing his warm-ups. For Jackson Howard, 38 pitches, 2 innings worth of work. Gave up 1 run at the moment. He hit 2 batters, walked 2 batters, gave up a hit and a strikeout. And now it's top of the order. Chris Brown who has walked and grounded out, comes up. Defensively, Dalton Edwards moves to third base. This is a big chopper. First chance for Edwards. He's got it. Throw to first. Not in time. Brown's speed beats it out, and bases are loaded. Infield single for Chris Brown. And there was nothing Dalton Edwards could do with that. It's a big chopper. You got to wait for it to come back down to you. And by the time it got down, Brown was out of the box and flying down that first base line. So now, with the bases loaded, South Carolina brings the infield in. Nobody out. Bryce Shepard up as he punches one foul. He's singled and grounded out. Georgia trying to put a little more pressure on South Carolina's offense for what's maybe left of this game, the last 2 innings. Here's the pitch from Brunson. This one hit in the air. Shallow center. It'll be grabbed there, and they're not going to tag up the runner as DeRosia secures that one for the first out of the inning. Now Colt Montgomery. Montgomery with a foul out and a walk and a run scored. This would be huge for South Carolina if they can get out of this. Bases loaded, nobody out. Top of the 5th. They've got 1 out now. DeRosia way over in the left center. And this one hit up in the air to left. Coming on hard, not going to get there. It'll drop in front of left fielder Charlie Staggs. Everybody moves up 1 base, and it's a 7-1 lead. Cohen McCoy comes in to score. Run batted in for Colton Montgomery. Well, Brown singled, fly out from Shepard, and now a single from Montgomery, and Millett's up there with a chance to help himself even more. Base is still loaded, pitch missing wide. Cannon reached on an error and grounded out, so for 2. Ground ball past third base. Here's 1 run. Second one being waved. Brown's going to come in and score. It's a 9-1 lead. That's 3 RBIs now for Cannon Millett. As Bentley Williams and Chris Brown both scored. Montgomery stopped at second base, and Sutton Lewis comes up, still just 1 out in the inning. 3 runs have already scored for Georgia here in the top of the 5th. Pitch bounces, almost hits him. And at least the runner at third, Montgomery, moves up. Well, tell you what, 10 and 11 are sitting on base, and that could be a problem for South Carolina even much more so. They'll have to come up with a run in the bottom of the inning if Georgia gets these 2 across. Pitch wide, off goes the base runner. Bryce Shepard, who's running over there now for the pitcher. He steals second, kind of fell awkwardly and caught his left arm in behind him. So that 10th and 11th run now both in scoring position. It counts 2 balls and no strikes to Sutton Lewis. Lewis with a couple of singles. He's driven in 2 runs. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Actually got a piece of it, but into the catcher's glove. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tyler Howell's on deck. 1 out in the inning. Began with a hit batter, a walk. That one way outside. That led to a pitching change. That was the end for Jackson Howard. Kyler Brunson came up. Infield single by Chris Brown. Fly out by Shepard. Legit single by Montgomery. And then Connor Millett with a base hit. That one's outside, ball 4, bases loaded.
Now batting Tyler Howell.
Tyler Tyler Howell now. He's struck out and been hit by a pitch. Gus Reagan is the on-deck hitter. New runner in for Sutton Lewis. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one. Bentley Williams coming in to run at first. 1-0 pitch. This one hit in the air. Right field. Sending the right fielder back. He drops the ball. One run comes in to score. That's Montgomery. Second one being held up at third. And it's a 10-1 game. I'll give that a pretty good ride. The deep right field. Where that ball just got dropped over. I think that was Miles Grugan out there. And now bases stay loaded. 10-1 lead. And Gus Reagan up. So runners at all three bases for Georgia. They've scored 4 already in the inning. Looking for that elusive one more to give them the 10-run lead. Ground ball by Reagan, foul. Reagan in the game so far had a double, drove in a couple of runs, and then struck out and reached on a third strike that got past the catcher. He fists this one back for a foul, and the count still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at third is Bryce Shepard. He matters a great deal in this equation. This one way high, and Ben Wright may have saved that run from scoring. Now the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2, low and inside. Bryson Sutton is the on-deck hitter. Here's the 3-2. That's not even close. Ball 4. And we got an 11-1 game. Shepard trotting in from third. Williams goes to third now. Howell to second. Reagan to first. And Bryson Sutton, who's singled and grounded out, comes up. Defensive group having a meeting without the coach on the mound. Still have just 1 out. Sutton will be the 10th man to bat in this half inning for Georgia. Unless he hits into a double play, they're going to bat all the way around here in the 5th. He scored 5 runs in the first inning, 1 run in the third, and they have put up 5 more here in the 5th. And that pitch way outside. Ball 1. And home plate umpire is going to take a walk out and ask maybe about the baseball and help Kyler Brunson compose himself a little bit. It's humid. It's 95 degrees outside. If that ball gets slick at all, or your hands get slick at all, good luck controlling it. That may be what's happened to Kyler Brunson here. Last 3 batters walk. Error by the right fielder on a well-hit ball and another walk. 1-0 pitch, same thing, 2-0. This time they're going to send the runner from third. He'll come in and score and make it a 12-1 game. As Sutton Lewis, or at least his spot comes in. It's actually Bentley Williams that comes in to score. And it's 6 runs across for Georgia in this inning. And Coach Howard coming back out again. Georgia flexing its muscle a little bit here in the inning. All right, we're going to get a pitching change. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll let the new arm warm up. We'll come right back as we continue here in the top of the 5th inning. 12-1, Georgia with the lead.
No, we got him to get him out now. We got a chance to get him out and have him again Tuesday. So he's going to go with Jack.
All right, welcome back. Georgia with the 12-1 lead. New pitcher, Easton Sheely, going from his spot at shortstop into the game for the mound. Changing around, Dalton Edwards is going to go to second base. Jackson Howard's going to go to shortstop. Into the game in right field, McKinley Wade. And in left field, they're going to, I think, move Miles Grugan over that way. So they moved all kinds of bodies around. Brunson back where he started the game at third base. So with a 2-0 count, first pitch from Sheely. That's in there for a called strike to Bryson Sutton. Third pitcher of the inning for South Carolina. This one, big chopper. That's wide of first base. And the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to number 8 hitter Bryson Sutton. Jasper Dean on deck for Georgia. As they are on the verge of batting all the way around here in the 5th inning. Pitch misses outside, 3-2. First base is open at the moment. There's runners at the other 2 bases. Gus Reagan's over at second base. Tyler Howell's at third. Ground ball, that's backhanded by Straninger. He'll take the out at first, and the 13th run of the game comes in to score. Sutton drives in his 2nd run of the day. Tyler Howell scoring. Make it 7 runs in this inning. And Jasper Dean becomes the 11th batter of the inning for Georgia. He's 0-2, popped out and grounded out. And he grounds this one to Brunson at third. Throw across in time, and that'll retire the side. But Georgia explodes as they pick up 7 runs in the inning and turn a 6-1 lead into a 13-1 lead. We'll come back for the bottom of the 5th. A lot of work for South Carolina if they want to stay on the winner's bracket side of the tournament. Quick timeout here on the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, let's wrap up what happened in the top of the 5th inning. 7 runs, 3 hits. There was an error, 2 hit batters, and 2 walks in the inning as 1 Georgia runner was left on base. So for the game so far, that's 13 runs on a total of 8 hits. And Georgia has left 5 runners on base. Now for Georgia defensively. They make a change on the mound where Cannon Millette had 64 pitches he had used, so he is still available to come back and work on Tuesday. He went 4 innings, gave up 1 run, 1 hit, hit 2 batters, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. So he leaves the game in the hands of Jasper Dean, whose responsibility is to not give up more than 2 runs in this half inning, and Georgia will get a game or a day 2 victory over South Carolina. South Carolina's got something to say about it, though. Jake Thompson to lead things off. Kyler Brunson and Easton Sheely to follow. Jasper Dean, who had been the second baseman, takes the mound. Defensively, Gus Reagan moves to second base, and Connor Millette moves over to first. First pitch, ball. And that one's a called strike. Jake Thompson, the only hit of the game for South Carolina to this point in time. He had a 2nd inning double and scored the only run. That pitch missing, 2-1. So an outstanding performance from Cannon Millette, no question about it. Struck out 9 of the 12 outs his team recorded in his 4 innings. The others were a couple of ground outs that he fielded and a force out. There's a hard base hit past the shortstop, and I'm sure the folks from South Carolina are happy to see a different pitcher. And Jake Thompson 2 for 2 today, double and a single. The other out was a force out in the 4th inning. So no balls had left the infield until that one. It just got hit into left field, except for Thompson's earlier double. Here's Brunson now. He grounded out first time up. First pitch low for ball 1. South Carolina can score 3 or more. They'll extend this game for 1 more inning and give themselves another chance. Pitch high, 2-0. Inside, 3-0. Winner of this game plays at 6:15 tomorrow night. They get the pass all the way through to the last game of the night. Losers got to play at 11:15 against either North Carolina or Mississippi. Their game coming up in a little bit. And 4 pitches and a walk. And so 2 runners are on.
Now batting Easton Shelley.
And looks like Georgia's coach going to come out and talk to his infield. Easton Shelley with nobody out and 2 runners on. This is probably a pretty obvious message to Jasper Dean. We got a 12-run lead, throw strikes. All right, Sheely up now. Easton grounded out to the pitcher in his only at bat. Here's the pitch. That one lifted foul for strike 1. Like maybe a ball that was out of the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 strike, no balls. How about that? That one just a little wide, 1-1. Sheely, a big fan of Aaron Judge and the Yankees, which our producer Zach Doty agrees with wholeheartedly. This one smacked toward the pitcher, fielded there for the first out of the inning as Jasper Dean, who normally plays second base, handled that well. First out, runners move up to second and third. And now it's Jackson Howard's turn.
batting, Jackson Howard.
I tease Zach Doty, who's actually a Boston Red Sox fan. And he's missing the Rangers and Red Sox in Arlington today to be here with us. So it's all about the love. This ball lifted into center. It's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. Throw to the plate will stop the second runner. Kyler Brunson at third base. But Jake Thompson scores. He's got the only 2 runs today for South Carolina. But it's an RBI single for Jackson Howard.
Dalton Edwards.
And now it's a 13-2 game. Dalton Edwards, who struck out, comes to the plate. For Georgia, it's actually okay if Kyler Brunson scores, and he just did because Jasper Dean balked him in. That's no harm, no foul. It's still a 10-run lead. The runner at second base now is problematic. And off he goes running for third. Pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. So if South Carolina wants to extend this, that runner at third's got to come in. Pitch high, ball 2. Charlie Staggs is on deck. And that's going to be all she wrote. Georgia's coach, Derek Johnson's coming back out for a second trip, and they're going to warm up a new pitcher. So with a 13-3 lead, Georgia's going back to changing the man on the mound. We'll take a break. We'll come back while the new player from Georgia warms up, tries to preserve this 10-run lead for Georgia. Quick timeout. We're coming right back to the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, welcome back to Bossier City, Louisiana. It's the 2024 World Series for the Ozone DYB baseball division. New pitcher coming out for Georgia, Gus Reagan. Counts 2 balls and no strikes on the current batter, Dalton Edwards. Pitch to him, it's in there for a strike. 2-1. For Jasper Dean, 1/3 of an inning, 1 walk, 2 hits, 2 runs in, and that runner at third belongs to him. Reagan's pitch way outside, and for a second they thought about sending that runner. Jackson Howard decided against it. So it counts 3-1 now. Charlie Staggs, the on-deck hitter for South Carolina. Somebody's doing some rather extreme yelling out there. Pitch inside, ball 4. So runners will be at first and third now for Staggs. The number 10 hitter in the lineup. He's struck out in his only at bat. This inning began with a single by Jake Thompson, his second hit of the game. Kyler Brunson walked on 4 pitches. Easton Shealy grounded out to the pitcher's mound, but the runners advanced on that. And then Jackson Howard with a single knocked in one, and Jasper Dean balked in the other run. That's where we sit. 13-3 the score. Stags showing bunt. And he pulls the bat back as the runner advances up to second base. And we're going to have another conference. Stags and Howard and Coach Howard all having a little discussion about what we're going to do here. From South Carolina's perspective, getting this run gives them a chance at least to extend the game and maybe rally back into this thing. We've seen stranger things. 7 runs scored in the last half inning for Georgia. Counts 1-0 now. Here's the pitch. No, way outside. 2-0. So Coach Howard does not want that runner thrown out at home. He probably twice had a chance to send him, and both times made the decision, we're going to be conservative on this, and we do not want to make an out at home and don't get a chance to cut this thing under 10. Stag showing bunt again. That's a called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gus Reagan, third pitcher for Georgia. Cannon Millette started. He struck out 9 in 4 innings. Didn't give up but 1 run. He came out, and 2 runs have scored already. This one popped up, and it'll be a foul bunt as Millette was charging in from first base. Now the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Georgia doesn't want to play an extra inning. They want to get this thing over now. Now with 2 strikes, you figure the bunt is off. Stag swings and misses, and there's the second out of the inning. Miles Grugan up next, the number 11 hitter. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Top of the order, Ben Wright is on deck. First base is open. Runners at second and third. 13-3 game. And they miss on it. Here comes a run in to score, and they'll make it a 13-4 game anyway. All the machinations and a wild pitch let the run score, and now it is a 9-run game, and we're going to get a 6th inning. All that work to try to stop it at 10, and that didn't work. So now South Carolina with a 13-4 deficit, runner up at third base now, can cut into it a little bit more. And that pitch is high and outside for a ball. Next door, Ponchatoula, Louisiana, with a 6-3 lead over the host from Bossier. Here's the pitch. That one inside, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Number 11 hitter. So 3 balls and no strikes. Here's a pitch. Way outside, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to the number 11 hitter, and now runners are at first and third. And Georgia's coach making another trip to the mound. He's trying to get one more out of this, and he is not having much success with it. First pitcher gave up the first 2 runs, and actually all 3 runs now credited to Jasper Dean. But Reagan's come in, walked 2, struck out 1 that he's faced, and wild pitched in a run, and We're going to go to another pitcher, it looks like. Yep, Reagan's done. Bentley Williams, the shortstop's about to get the ball. He'll warm up. We'll take a break. We're going to come right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to try this again, bottom of the 5th inning, as Georgia brings in yet another pitcher. This is the 3rd of this inning, as we go back to the top of the order. Bentley Williams becomes the 4th pitcher, 3rd of this inning. Williams trying to get just one more out to get out of this bottom of the 5th. And that pitch, low and outside, ball 1. Ben Wright, the batter. Wright struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. 3 runs have scored already here in the inning for South Carolina. They've got a runner at third base, another one at first. Ball 2 outside, and with that, Miles Grugan takes second base. If Wright can get on, Ethan DeRosia comes up. Not going to put it out there too far, but McKinley Wade's 2 batters away. The 2-0, that one called strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cannon Millette started this, went 4. It's taken 3 teammates to try to get through this 5th inning. Williams pitch, low, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Yeah, got it a little outside. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. By the way, for Gus Reagan, faced 3 batters, walked 2, struck out 1. All right, here's Ethan DeRosia now. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th and struck out in the 1st. Pitch inside for ball 1. Now McKinley Wade waits on deck. South Carolina trying to rally back here. They go up 7 in the top of the 5th. They've picked 3 back up already in their half of the inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's in there for a called strike. Bentley Williams, this one swung on, hit the other way to left. It's back deep. It'll bounce to the wall. 1 run scores. Second one coming across. DeRosia cruises into second with a stand-up double. And now it's a 13-6 game. Edwards and Grugan both scored. Two runs batted in for Ethan DeRosia. And here's McKinley Wade, who struck out facing Cannon Millette twice on called third strikes. He went 3 for 3 yesterday, put a bomb out of this park to straightaway center field. Another guy not happy to be facing Millette again. Here's Bentley Williams' first pitch. Swing and a miss. Well, he was aiming for the 3-run homer. And we're getting a runner coming in for Ben Wright. DeRozia's at second. Wade at the plate. Swings, ground ball over the top of the pitcher. Throw from second base in time. Wade out. Run doesn't score. And that'll end the inning. Clutch play by Jasper Dean. 5 runs come in to score in the inning. It's a 13-6 ball game. We'll take a break and come back for the top of the 6th when we return here to the 2024 DYB World Series. At bottom of the 5th inning, South Carolina scored 5 runs. They got 3 hits, and there were 2 men left on base. So now we head to the top of the 6th. Georgia's lead still fairly comfortable. They're up by 7. It just feels a little bit different than it did an inning ago. They will have Cohen McCoy and Bentley Williams and then Chris Brown to bat. Those are the same guys that led off the 5th inning. They'll lead off the 6th, and they will face, for South Carolina, Easton Sheely, who was the last guy on the mound when the 5th inning ended. He tries to shut things down. Got 2 ground outs to close out Georgia in that last inning. This one fouled back, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Let's see if Georgia can stay aggressive now. You get a big lead like that, it's easy to let up. See if the bats respond here in the top of the 6th. Sheely's pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Winner of this will play tomorrow night, 6:15. The loser of this plays at 11:15, and we'll take on either Mississippi or North Carolina. That ball bounced in. 2 balls and 1 strike. McCoy with a pop out and was hit by a pitch. He's also scored a run. This one fouled out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Easton Sheely would like a new baseball, thank you. We have cooled off 1 degree, down to 94. This one lifted in the air, first base side, and that's grabbed on the run by Jake Thompson for the first out of the inning. So there's 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Bentley Williams up now. Williams with a strikeout and a walk and a run scored. Tomorrow's high back up to 97. 98 on Tuesday, and Wednesday for what may be the championship game, 100 degrees is the forecast here in Bossier. Pitch misses wide to Bentley Williams for ball 1. Jake Thompson started this game. He went 2 innings for South Carolina. That's outside ball 2. Jackson Howard followed. He went 2 innings. Skylar Brunson started the fifth inning. And, well, actually didn't start the inning. Came in the fifth inning. And then he was relieved with one out in that inning by Easton Sheely. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. 3-1. Chris Brown, the on-deck hitter. Lead off top of the order for Georgia waiting. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4. Coming up on this field after this game, we'll have the matchup between Alabama and, Mississippi and North Carolina is on this field. Alabama and Florida are playing on the neighboring field. All right, here's Chris Brown. Brown with a walk, ground out, and a single. It's a throw attempting to stop the steal from Bentley Williams. Sails into center field. He steals second base. So Brown 1 for 2, 2 runs scored. Bryce Shepard, is the on-deck hitter. Here's a pitch. That's high for a ball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Sheely's pitch. A good breaking ball in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Brown. Georgia with a 13-6 lead. South Carolina showed a little bit of life in that last half inning. Swing and a miss as Brown goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. It's up to Bryce Shepard now. Shepard 1 for 3. Single in the first, scored a run. Grounded out to third and flew out to center his other 2 times up. Unusual to see 4 at bats, but he's gotten 4 today, along with Brown. Missing wide. And 1 ball, no strikes to Bryce Shepard. We're at the number 2 spot in the Georgia lineup. Ground ball, foul, third base side. Kyler Brunson over there to chase that down. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryce Shepard. There's a pitch from Easton Sheely. That one low and away. 2-1. Georgia with 5 first-inning runs, picked up 1 in the third. They added 7 in the 5th. Here's the 2-1. Reaching at it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shepard trying to force the action a little bit, pitch outside the zone. Now it's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and South Carolina holds Georgia without a run here in the 6th inning. No runs, there were no hits, and 1 man left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 7 runs is what South Carolina needs to keep this game going, 8 to win it. We'll take a break, come right back for the bottom of the 6th, the 2024 DYB World Series. All right, last 3 outs for South Carolina. Or 7 runs to tie it, 8 runs to win this game. Milo Stranager going to lead things off. He's over 2 with 2 strikeouts. He'll be followed by Jake Thompson and Kyler Brunson. Bentley Williams, 4th pitcher of the day for Georgia. First pitch swinging, line drive, snagged by Gus Reagan, who lays out and steals one from Milo Stranager for the first out of the inning. Highlight play by Reagan. And there's 1 gone, and here's Jake Thompson, who's 2 for 2. Double and a single, 2 runs scored. He was South Carolina's starting pitcher. It seemed like forever ago. With 1 out, Bentley Williams pitch. This one grounded hard. That's fair past Reagan into left field. Thompson 3 for 3 today with a single and 2 doubles. Yeah, 2 hard hit balls on the first 2 pitches thrown by Bentley Williams. One found the glove of Gus Reagan. The other one results in Jake Thompson standing on second base. Here's Kyler Brunson. Brunson ground out a walk, a run scored. He scored on a balk. He also drove in a run. He first pitch swings and shakes his head after he missed. Pitch up around the eyes. No balls and 1 strike. Easton Sheely is on deck for Georgia. Excuse me, for South Carolina. Pitch high, laid off that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colt Montgomery, who started the game at third, is now playing shortstop for Georgia. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off the hands. It's fair ball, fielded by Williams, who will throw out Brunson, who shakes his hands as he runs down to first base. Oh, they say it got his foot after it fouled off his hands. So no out at first base. The count is, I believe, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-1, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Brunson steps back in. Got a little break that his foot got in the way of that. And here's the 1-2 runner taken off from second. He'll take third base. Now the count even 2-2. Bentley Williams pitch way wide. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at third, Jake Thompson. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Well, Williams fights back and gets the strikeout. And now South Carolina is down to their final out. Easton Sheely, who's grounded out twice to the pitcher, comes up. Jackson Howard goes into the on-deck circle. Again, this is not an elimination game, so we won't have a big ceremony between games this time. Here's the first pitch. This one lifted in the air to center. It's moving back towards Chris Brown, who will gather it in, and that's how this one comes to an end. No runs in the 6th inning. There was 1 hit and 1 man left on base, and so it's Georgia winning 13-6 over South Carolina. Georgia advances to play tomorrow night. They will be in the late game at 6:15. South Carolina will move into the early game at 11:15 tomorrow. They'll take on, well, we don't know yet, loser of either Mississippi or I gotta think Mississippi or North Carolina. All right, that's going to wrap this one up. We got to grab an interview with the winning coach. We'll come back for the 3rd game of our triple header when we return. You've been watching the 2024 DYB World Series.